Immortal Blood Part 2 by Anonymous. The next day, he did return with more questions, these ones very specific. He wanted to know about the vampires of Eastern Skyrim. I told him about the most powerful tribe, the Vocal Hare, paranoid and cruel, whose very breath could freeze their victims' blood in the veins. I explained to him how they lived beneath the ice of remote and haunted lakes, never venturing into the world of men, except to feed. Movarth Panique listened carefully and asked more questions into the night, until at last he was ready to leave.
I will not see you for a few days, he said, but I will return and tell you how helpful your information has been.
True to his word, the man returned to my chapel shortly after midnight, 4 days later. There was a fresh scar on his cheek, but he was smiling that grim and satisfied smile of his.
Your advice helped me very much, he said, but you should know that the Volcair have an additional ability you didn't mention. They can reach through the ice of their lakes without breaking it. It was quite a nasty surprise being grabbed from below without any warning.
How remarkable, I said with a laugh, and terrifying. You are lucky you survived.
I don't believe in luck. I believe in knowledge and training. Your information helped me, and my skill at melee combat sealed that bloodsucker's fate. I've never believed in weaponry of any kind. Too many unknowns. Even the best swordsmith has created a flawed blade. But you know what your body is capable of. I know I can land 1,000 blows without losing my balance, provided I get the first strike.
The first strike, I murmured. So you must never be surprised.
That is why I came to you, said Movarth. You know more than anyone else alive about these monsters, in all their cursed varieties across the land. Now you must tell me about the vampires of northern Valenwood.
I did as he asked, and once again his questions taxed my knowledge. There were many tribes to cover. The Bonsumu, who were indistinguishable from Bossamer except when seen by candlelight. The Keralith, who could disintegrate into mist. The Yekif, who swallowed men whole. The dread Telboth, who preyed on children, eventually taking their place in the family, waiting patiently for years before murdering them all in their unnatural hunger. Once again, he bade me farewell, promising to return in a few weeks, and once again, he returned as he said, just after midnight. This time, Movarth had no fresh scars, but he again had new information.
You were wrong about the Kerith being unable to vaporize when pushed underwater, he said, patting my shoulder fondly. Fortunately, they cannot travel far in their mist form, and I was able to track them down.
You must have surprised it fearfully. Your field knowledge is becoming impressive, I said. I should have an acolyte like you decades ago.
Now tell me, he said, of the vampires of Cyrodiil.
I told him what I could. There was but one tribe in Cyrodiil, a powerful clan who had ousted all of other competitors, much like the Imperials themselves had done. Their true name was unknown, lost in history, but they were experts at concealment. If they kept themselves well fed, they were indistinguishable from living persons. They were cultured, more civilized than the vampires of the provinces, preferring to feed on victims while they were asleep, unaware.
They will be difficult to surprise, Olvar frowned. But I will seek one out and tell you what I learn. And then you will tell me of vampires of High Rock, and Hammerfell, and Elsewhere, and Black Marsh, and Morrowind, and the Somerset Isles. Yes. Yes?
I nodded, knowing that then this was a man of an internal quest he wouldn't be satisfied with, but the barest hint of how things were. He needed to know it all. He did not return for a month, and on the night that he did, I could see his frustration and despair, though there were no lights burning in my chapel.
I failed,
he said as I lit a candle.
You are right. I could not find a single one.
I brought the light up to my face and smiled. He's surprised, even stunned by the pallor of my flesh, the dark hunger in my ageless eyes and the teeth. Oh yes, I think the teeth definitely surprise a man who could not afford to be surprised. I haven't fed in 72 hours, I exclaimed as I fell on him. He did not land the first blow, or the last.